Well, welcome to the Extra with LifePoint episode. Thank you for listening. This is just a time that we get to spend after our Sunday morning service, getting a little bit extra from whoever preached at our Lake Stevens and Marysville campuses. And today we're joined with Kirby, Pastor Kirby, hanging out with us from Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. The other day, I had cheese curds for the very first time.
Good job.
And it was good. I'm not a cheese person. Do you like cheese?
Of course, I'm from Wisconsin.
Yeah. Like what should like a person like go, like if they're going to Wisconsin, like is it just go to like any convenience store and get like some cheese curds, or like what's like the thing to do?
Yeah, so I mean, you can go to any grocery store to get great cheese. Okay, that's a Wisconsin thing. I live in a city called Kenosha. There's this like legendary shop called Mars Cheese Castle. Okay. It sounds super corny.
Yeah.
Looks a little bit corny.
Yeah.
But best cheese of your life when you go in there and just buy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, you can go to any dive bar, local restaurant, get cheese curds, and they're going to change your life.
And it's just a thing.
Yeah.
Like
it will change your life.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm going to have to try it. I don't know when next time I'm going to be in Wisconsin, but we'll have to go try it. But I have some questions about your message today. We're starting a new series called Monsters Under the Bed. Yeah. And your message talked a lot about conflict and just relationships, processing through that, how to navigate in that area that's very uncomfortable for a lot of people. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of us, we just don't do it well. So in your message, you emphasized the importance of addressing the root cause of conflict. What are some practical steps you recommend for identifying the real issues behind disagreements?
So a really practical tool is to really ask yourself why a few times. There's a root cause analysis tool called the 5 whys. And so you think about, okay, I'm angry. Why am I angry?
Yeah.
And then answer that question. And then again, and say, why? It's just a tool that helps you peel back the layers to really get to like, what is the heart of the issue?
Yeah.
Because again, if we only address the superficial issue, then we won't actually resolve the problem.
Yeah.
And if we stay surface level, then you don't actually get to the heart of the problems.
Right. Yeah. So would you say for a lot of us, we're so easy to just kind of jump right in to the conflict and not really, it sounds like it's slowing down with those questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because we kind of stick to the generalities. Oh, we just don't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
I don't like that person. We're on different pages.
Yeah.
Why is that? Like, let's get to what is the thing?
Yeah.
Because typically it's only one thing, right? It's a conversation somewhere. It's a moment in time.
Yep.
Somewhere we were rubbed the wrong way. If you can kind of find that place.
Yep.
And zero in on that situation, then you can start building the fix.
Yep. For you in your own life, like, was this something that like has just taken time to really learn for yourself when it comes to conflict?
Time and intentionality.
Yeah.
Like really doing the work of learning how to resolve conflict. Like there's tools and resources, like there's just so much stuff.
Yeah.
But of course, studying the scriptures, but also really, talking to people who are wise, people who are really good at navigating these spaces. Mm-hmm. Like I think everybody should have a couple of like peacemakers in our life. Like there's people that are just great at mediating and helping make peace, and you like find those people and talk to those people and let them help guide you in understanding some of what they do.
Yeah, no, that's good. And I'm thinking through maybe somebody that is just attending church and just trying to figure this thing out. And now they're listening to your sermon today, or and they have people in their life that they have conflict with. But maybe they feel like they don't have those people at their table that they can talk to. Where should a person like start when it comes to like finding those voices in your life? Like, what would you recommend for somebody in that area?
I mean, one of the good things is being part of a local church.
Sure.
Chances are, if you connect to a local church, there's going to be a pastor or home group leader. There's going to be some leader in that church that can help you navigate conflict in a powerful way.
Yeah.
There's this one book that comes to mind called Courageous Conversations.
Yeah.
It's not a Christian book. It's kind of corporate, but it does a good job of helping set the stage of like, how do you have difficult conversations with people?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good resources and tools in that book.
Yeah.
To help set the stage, like how you have this kind of difficult conversation.
That's great. Yeah. We'll make sure to link that book in the description for any of you that want to check it out. You also mentioned that many people react to conflict in unhealthy ways. Mm-hmm. Can you elaborate on how we can create a culture of open communication in our daily lives to prevent misunderstandings?
Yeah, I think it starts with having a proper understanding of conflict. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I think if we can start kind of demystifying or taking away the negative stigma of conflict,
Yeah.
it'll go a long way in building a culture of just like comfort around dealing with conflict.
Yeah.
The scriptures, we quote this passage all the time, folks. It's like been in church a long time. Iron sharpens iron, right? But the context of that is friction. You got iron bars. There's sparks. Like it's friction.
Yep.
So the idea is that in the context of relationship, when we do it right, that friction makes us better.
Yep.
So we lean into it versus running away from it.
Yeah, that's so good. I actually was listening to a podcast earlier today, kind of about iron sharpening iron, but also you use iron to sharpen iron. You don't use like a stone to sharpen iron.
Right.
Because you might be able to sharpen that iron with that stone, but there's going to be dents in it. There's going to be scratches. And so you don't go out and cast stones and do that type of thing to like prove your point. But it's iron sharpening iron to actually get like a good product at the end of the day.
That's good. You help me with this message.
Hey, let's go.
I could have used that, bro.
And the last one here is forgiveness is honestly the key takeaway from all of this. And I want to know from you, how can we practice forgiveness in a way that not only resolves conflict, but also strengthens our community?
Oh, that's good. Forgiveness at its essence is the willingness to let go of holding people responsible for what they've done.
Yeah.
Right. There's this freedom of letting go. It doesn't mean it's okay.
Right.
But it means I'm not going to continue to attempt to punish you or hold it against you.
Yeah.
Right. And so that degree of freedom, if it's released in any community, it opens the door to build better relationships. It opens the door for more sincere dialogue.
Yeah.
And it creates this environment in the context of the church, the household of faith, that's just so different from every other environment.
Yeah.
Because people don't forget and let go. And a lot of us are struggling because there's people in our lives that constantly remind us of who we were at some point in time.
Yeah.
And I think forgiveness is also one of the foundational elements of the gospel.
Yep.
Right? Like we understand God loved the world. He forgave our sins.
Right.
Like that's the bedrock of the gospel.
Yep.
So for us to live that out is to forgive, and so it becomes this outworking of what it looks like to actually live the gospel.
Yeah.
And it's such a blessing for people to come into community and just find that freedom from their past, freedom from mistakes, freedom from all of these things. Yes, from Jesus, but also from one another.
Yeah, that's really good. And I feel like for somebody that's listening right now, maybe they have somebody in their life, whether it's a parent, a wife, a spouse, whatever, that maybe that person has had something wrong done to them and they see that person holding back forgiveness. Like how can we come alongside people that are holding back forgiveness for other people and just encourage them and love on them?
I think part of it is this reminder that God has forgiven so much.
Yeah.
And so as God has forgiven us, we're then called to forgive other people. But hopefully there's an opportunity to have a really sincere conversation, help them understand, part of what I said today in the message, that when you don't forgive, it does more damage to you than it does to the other person.
That's good.
And so often, again, people will hurt us and go on about their lives.
Yeah.
In some instances, they don't realize what they've done. In others, they've reconciled that this is what I do when it's okay.
Yeah.
In other situations, maybe they're deeply grieved and have done the work to try to, not hurt other people.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, holding that grudge, again, it hurts the individual so much more than it hurts the object of the grudge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when I see it from that perspective, I'm more inclined to do the work of forgiving people.
Yeah, that's really good. Well, as we wrap up this podcast episode, if you just want to take maybe this next 30 seconds to maybe encourage somebody that has listened to your sermon, knows that there's conflict in their life, and they're about to go this week and do the things that you taught today, what would you just encourage that person?
Yeah, the next steps are going to be extremely difficult. To sit in a service or hear a message and be encouraged and convicted is the first step, and it's great. But now the work starts. That's right. So I would encourage you to do a few things. One, be praying, really be praying about setting the stage to forgive and to deal with conflict in your life. Really think through, some of the practical things I said, finding the right place and time, thinking about what is the root of the issue and really planning what does this conversation look like. Also, if there's somebody who is wise and mature spiritually that you trust, ask them to help. How can I have this conversation in a way that's going to be honoring and productive and fruitful in the midst of the current conflict that I'm in? And then just take that step. make the call, send the text, set up a time to meet, and be really honest about what it's about. Hey, we've been having this issue, and I want to find a way to resolve it so that we can move forward together.
Yeah. No, that's great. Thank you, Pastor, for spending some time with us, giving us a little bit extra with your sermon. So glad that we got to hang out. So.
Yeah, me too. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date with all of our Extra with LifePoint episodes.